as he did in Summer League.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing him because he still owes me money. Again, we used to bet on his shots in pregame every day. So, you know, it's NIL era. He can do that now.
Yeah. Doesn't have just pocket limit.
It's pocket change for him. He's been getting paid for quite a while.
Brea with the three. Malawach with the tip. Told you before the tip a moment ago, keep an eye on him. 7'1" with a 7'7" wingspan, and he used all of it there. Jones to Jones, trying to bully his way inside. Back out to Nick Clifford, the rookie. Out top, Devin Carter, one more. Mason Jones. Nice cut by Clifford, and a little bit strong. On the break, it's Collins. Pierces the paint, but he's fouled in the process. Maxime Renaud, we talked about him in the open. He won't be playing today. He's nursing a finger injury. Had the stim machine on it a little bit earlier today at Kings practice. Sideline out of bounds, Phoenix. Corey, I'm going to be interested to keep an eye on Devin Carter, who's been in the lab doing a lot of work on his point guard skills. Malawach fouled on a hard roll to the bucket, and he'll get a couple of attempts. So Common Malawach, who you saw a lot, you do and see as many elite college basketball players as anybody. What does his curve look like moving forward?
Honestly, what he reminded me of during his time at Duke is what we saw from Joel Embiid during his time at Kansas. I mean, but more importantly, has the ability to shoot the three. Hasn't made a lot of them early, but you see the confidence is there. There goes my guy. Wow. My Wahoo friend. But again, I love the fact that Ryan Dunn, as he finishes up, immediately picks up Devin Carter 94 feet, knowing how dangerous Carter is.
Mason Jones overcooked that three. Isaac Jones couldn't get the handle out to Carter. Mason Jones sprays it out to the wing. Crawford for three. Clifford was crashing. Nothing happening for the Kings. Dunn walked with it in transition.
And that's a turnover that you have to put on Yuri Collins. At the end of the day, you put Ryan Dunn in a tough spot right there with Mason Jones barreling down on him. And again, with Dunn having to keep his eyes on the basketball to catch it, he doesn't see that defender in front of him.
Malawach lays off Crawford, and a big-time finish by Isaac Jones, who gets the start at the 5.
And you've got a number of members on this Kings team who, of course, were members of the Stockton Kings, who won the G League championship this year and the G League's finals MVP. And Mason Jones, who won finals MVP even though he missed the last 6 minutes of the deciding game with a sprained ankle.
Last year at this time, Mason Jones totally remade his body. Lost some 45 pounds from the end of last year's G League season to Summer League, and man, it's really benefited him in a huge way.
It really has. His ability to be able to make plays. I believe that young man is an NBA player. And again, of course, with Doug Christie, he's going to have to find a way to fit in defensively, but he looks as though he has the will. We know he has the skill, and defense is all about will. And will he do that? I do believe so.
Malawach lost the handle. Clifford sprays it out to Carter. Been pulling that three pretty well. That one comes up short.
Yeah, you talked about Devin Carter and his point guard play, but he dropped 30 last time out, so he's also been working on getting the bucket.
Dunn knocks down the three.
I tell you what, it's been a great start for Ryan Dunn.
That ball tipped out of bounds. It'll stay Sacramento basketball.
And I didn't even dap him up pregame. So, oh, I got my point just now. Okay, so I just got my point. So now he knows. You owe me money.
Yeah.
You owe me money. All right.
Hey, he knows. Send a collector on him. Clifford trying to walk down his defender. Nice turnaround. Boy, that's a big-time move by their first-round pick, Nick Clifford. 24th overall. He's wearing number 5, and the last guy to wear number 5 for Sacramento had a very prolific career with the Kings.
Did he? And speaking of guys, we were talking about Kyra Lewis in our first game that go point A to point B faster than anybody. Even though there are some lightning fast guys, Fox may still be at the front of the. He might be at the front of the list.
I think Clifford's going to make a quick transition to the Kings. They played a NBA-style offense, he told me, at Colorado State.
Yeah, I believe he absolutely will. And again, you're talking about a veteran, a guy that spent 4 or 5 years in college and understands how to conduct himself now off the floor, which allows him an opportunity to get on the court.
Good defense by Crawford for the steal. Mason Jones back to Carter. Got into the paint. Jones with the show and go. Great ball movement. One more. Time to cash out.
But how about both Carter and Mason Jones cracking the paint and finding their teammates, swing, allowing Nick Clifford to have a wide open look.
Olowatch playing with it a little bit too much. Tipped up and in from Ryan Dunn, who's showing heightened activity.
Great start for Ryan Dunn, and he's done it in so many different facets, knocking down the three, offensive rebounding, attacking the paint.
Carter gets a lot of air under that ball when he shoots it. Iguodaro. Dunn drives baseline on Carter.
Tell you what, I like Iguodaro already. Not only is he an elite rebounder, but he has the ability to facilitate once he gets the basketball in his hands.
You figure he's the type of guy that can be the hub of the offense?
Absolutely. You allow a guy like Devin Booker to be able to leak out.
Oh, Clifford, with a nice move over Malowatch.
I think he fooled Malowatch a little bit by bringing it back one time before he laid it off the glass.
What they call jelly in a crowd?
What do you call it?
Traffic jam.
I love it.
Great move by Clifford. He scored the last 7. Carter out front. Carter's ball handling skills are going to get a good test from Ryan Dunn today. Jones steps back. He's been working on that corner 3. Overcooked that one. And we got a foul as Mason Jones was battling for the offensive board. We're tied at 9. Everybody getting a chance to touch and eat.
Absolutely. Mason Jones driving it. Isaiah Crawford kicking it to Nick Clifford, who takes care of business.
NBA 2K26 Summer League is proudly sponsored by NBA 2K26. Rated E for everyone. And in part by DQ. Happy tastes good.
Runs everywhere across the foyer at Thomas and Mack. Utah leading San Antonio. Time winding down in the 4th quarter.
I almost got
competitive game, yeah.
I almost got hit over here watching Dylan Harper take it to the rim against Isaiah Collier.
That would have been something.
Oh, yes. You're talking about 2 of the nation's top point guards over the last 2 years coming out.
Harper's got 14. Sorry, Corey. Harper's got 14 in that game. And David Jones-Garcia, another 20-piece. Carter with the fadeaway. 12.3 to go across the way. Crawford short on the three. Stevens puts it home.
Stevens was a member of that championship Miami Heat team, got a ring last year in Summer League, and now trying to find his way in Sacramento.
Stevens also a collegiate teammate at one point of Clifford.
Yeah, both those guys under the tutelage of my guy Sam, a.k.a. Snoop Jones, who assistant coach at Colorado State a couple years ago, and now director of the Nike Academy. Okay. Yeah, we're going back to L.A. this year, Mark. Oh, Thousand Oaks, baby, Calabasas.
Hook a brother up.
Yeah, come on through.
I'll speak. Boogie Ellis out top, former member of the Sacramento/Stockton Kings. Iguodala couldn't get the short jump hook. Here comes Crawford. Sacramento looking to play fast. Doug Christie, of course, will have an entire training camp this year to get his guys ready. Oh, the snatch back dribble. What a move by Neek Clifford. Got power steering and power brakes. Wonderful handle.
Neek Clifford. And when you get a big guy moving one direction, it's difficult for someone the size of Malawach to be able to put on the brakes and get back and contest that shot. Great effort by Malawach. However, smart play by Neek Clifford to get right to his spot.
Doug Christie courtside with Mike Woodson, Scott Perry, the new general manager, Alvin Gentry, a member of the front office as well of the Sacramento Kings. Scott Perry with incredible knowledge and experience and has tremendous relationships around the NBA. Part of the Pistons 2004 championship build, where he worked hand in hand with Joe Dumars and also member of the Knicks turnaround.
Some wisdom in that quartet right there.
Yes.
I tell you what, and of course Doug Christie on the court. Ooh.
Well, they're going to guard people with Doug.
Yes, they are, and they don't have a choice.
Boogie Ellis out front. Had a great summer last year with Sacramento's Summer League team. Iguodala picked up his dribble, swarmed by Clifford. Shot clock winding down for Wood. Crawford with great defense moved his feet. Sometimes it's about better offense.
That's exactly what it was. Great defense. However, the offense just a little bit better by Wood to get the midi to go.
Clifford with a nice time. Counted underneath.
And that's my boy's first Summer League basket. My guy Dylan Cardwell, who I coached at Oak Hill Academy when he was a junior.
Undrafted out of Auburn. Another one of those more mature, older players coming out of college.
Bruce Pearl felt like he was the best defensive player in the country. Could switch, get out, and you see him great hands right there with the deflection, but can guard every position.
Boogie Ellis left it short. Relocates off the rebound and found his spot. Boogie Ellis out of USC.
Oh, look at the hands. Great hands by Boogie Ellis, jumping up there, stripping Stevens.
And we get a time out of the floor. Sacramento leading by 1.
Moses Wood, as the shot clock's going down. You know what they say about good defense. Only thing better is great offense.
Yes. by 2 with 9 seconds to go.
Kyle Filipowski with his second 30-point game in Summer League. His first one had a 32-piece.
And Dylan Harper with 14, playing his second game after being held out with a groin injury. Meanwhile, David Jones-Garcia of San Antonio, he's having as good a Summer League as anybody. A great bucket getter. I'm shocked that he hasn't been shut down yet and signed with somebody. He's been that good.
Well, again, I believe that he's in the right spot. Yeah. And again, where you are in San Antonio, they want to make sure you can do it consistently. But it wouldn't be a shock to see him be a guy that's in the rotation for the Spurs.
Well, sometimes it's not the same team, right? Like, yes. Terrence Davis was one of those great Summer League stories. Lit it up in the first 2 games of Summer League here in Las Vegas with Denver, and then was signed by the Toronto Raptors.
Yeah, but one thing I know for certain is R.C. Buford, Greg Popovich, of course, my guy, B. Wright, Brian Wright, they also will make sure that it doesn't happen if he's a guy that can help them win games.
I get it. Their judgment has rarely been in question. So we get a timeout on the floor, and across the way, the Spurs inbounding with a chance to tie or take the lead on a 3.
But look who that is. That's your guy defensively getting the stop. Carter Bryant, you talked about him in our earlier game. And Carter Bryant doing the job defensively to get that stop for San Antonio as they'll go into overtime against the Jazz.
He can guard people. Unbelievable. He doesn't leave home without his straps. Kings basketball under the timeout. 7 on the shot clock. Loudon. And he was fouled on a 3-point attempt. So he'll go to the free throw line. Chance for 3 shots. Loudon knocks down the first. Hey, Summer League action continues tomorrow on NBA TV, ESPN, as well as the ESPN app. NBA TV tomorrow has Minnesota, Detroit at 4:30, followed by OKC, Orlando, Philadelphia, Washington, and then Golden State, Memphis to round out the night. Yeah, get a good look at Trey Johnson, folks, while he's still here. Not sure he's going to play, but he's worth the price of admission or viewing. Off the miss.
I'm not sure. Has Washington won a game yet? I believe they're 0-2. And again, I think most likely, and again, I know Will Dawkins pretty well. I believe that they most likely would continue to allow their guys to play until they get a win. You remember last season, they made sure to get Bob Carrington and Alex Sarr tremendous minutes. And so when you have this opportunity, and again, anything can happen, but I believe they will allow Trey to continue to get these reps, because when you get to training camp, of course, he's going to be going up against a guy like C.J. McCollum.
Yeah, and Marcus Smart.
And Marcus Smart. I'm not sure that you can truly, you're going to take a lot of minutes away from those veterans to be able to get Trey minutes. So you want to get them as many live reps as possible.
Foul's going to go against Boogie Ellis with 1:23 to go, sending Mason Jones to the free throw line. 6'4", 26-year-old out of Arkansas.
And Mason Jones is an elite scorer, but a very underrated passer. His ability to find his teammates to make plays for others, I believe it hides in the shadows of his ability to be able to score. And of course, right now, when you look at a guy like Mason Jones coming in and playing more of a point guard role with this group.
Nice block on the recovery. That was Plowden. And another block at the other end, says also Iguodaro. Wood. Ellis had an ocean. Ellis on the drive on Cardwell. Shot clock down to 5. Iguodaro tried to make the extra pass.
But that's an example of that defensive job by Dylan Cardwell, ability to stay step by step with the point guard. And how about the denial by Plowden, getting back defensively, denying an opportunity at the rim, and then sharing the basketball. However, Iguodaro having no parts of it. So great job defensively by both teams with their transition defense.
Boy, the Kings really overplaying, denying those passes. Wood off the bounce. Had it knocked away. Shot clock at 4. Time for Boogie to dance here. Lost it, got it back, and that's going to be a shot clock violation. Wonderful defense for the Sacramento Kings, impervious on that sequence.
You made it clear. If you're going to play for Doug Christie, you're going to have to guard. That's exactly what he did as a player, one of the elite defenders during my era in the NBA. And so he is absolutely going to require that of guys on the floor that are going to put on that Kings uniform.
Woodson there, Mike Miller on staff as well. Stevens inside, back out to Plowden for 3. Easy back out top to Mason Jones. Jones. Iguodaro stays with him well. The big man moved his feet.
Yes, he did. Tremendous job enforcing that turnover.
Sacramento up by 4. Boogie Ellis on the wing. On the switch, an open 3 is good by Fleming.
That's a gamble that did not pay off for Mason Jones, leaving the shooter in the corner, allowing Boogie Ellis to have an outlet. But on the other end, Ryan Dunn with the putback slam. Nick Clifford battling from beyond the arc. And that 1 point is the
mentality coming into tonight?
Just trying to do my job, come out and compete and give as much as I can to the team, not only offensively but defensively, trying to guard and get up the floor. Just being aggressive and just trusting my work and just trying to be a leader for the team right now.
The Kings have found a little bit of an offensive rhythm. What's the key in the second quarter?
Offensive rebounding, we got to stop that for them. They've been crashing the boards. They're a good team for that. They're getting second chance points. So we got to box. I got to do a better job coming in and rebound, not leaking out. But just being aggressive and trusting our defense on the backside.
Great stuff. Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, speaking of defense, Ryan Dunn last year, Corey, you know as well as anybody, was tasked with guarding the opponent's best perimeter scorer a lot of times and did a pretty good job.
He really did, and grew up a lot as a player. I'm not sure that the Suns were expecting his offensive production, especially early in the year. He shot the basketball extremely well. But I'm just shocked that Vanessa didn't ask him if he had my money. I mean,
we're going to send the collector on.
Yeah, I mean, again, it was a perfect opportunity.
Hey, Corey's got Cash App. Just hit him.
Yeah, it's easy.
Here we go. 9.5 minutes to go in the first half. Just underway in the second period. Little empty corner two-man game with Malawach. Tough pass, never made it. Picked off. Kings in transition. Stevens on the handback. Tough shot. And rebounded by Dunn.
That's Dunn doing exactly what he was talking about before, is getting back in, coming up with rebounds. Now 4 rebounds for Ryan Dunn here in this first half as he continues to be aggressive, and that's really where he's grown as a player. More importantly, the confidence to take that shot off the move. He wasn't as confident in college, and again, you know, the college game is so different to where coaches can script the shots that you want. You're forced to take those shots at the NBA level. When you're playing alongside Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, and of course Devin Booker, they're going to get so much attention. You cannot pass up opportunities, and Ryan learned that lesson quickly.
With a little encouragement or persuasion from his teammates at times.
Well, KD did a great, job. He really did. And again, you know, and that's one of the things that we heard a lot about KD's leadership style a season ago, but I know truly what happened, especially with that relationship. And I thought KD did a tremendous job helping the younger players become true professionals, especially with Ryan. And again, I don't, that's one thing you'll never hear from me is me knocking Kevin Durant's leadership, because I mean, everybody does it in different ways.
Yeah, he took Dunn under his wing as far back as the summer during his rookie year before official training camp. Malawach on the roll, sprays it to the wing. The 3 on the way by Collins is no good. Stevens still the primary ball handler, point guard in the ball game for Sacramento. Jones on the baseline, couldn't connect on the reverse. Bowden, one more to Stevens, one more to the corner. Mason Jones lines up the seams and knocks it home.
But you can see the Kings do a great job sharing the basketball, making sure they pass up a good shot for a great shot, and they've been able to benefit multiple times from that great shot.
Ray, a one and done for Phoenix on the miss. Jones pushing it. Kings want to play fast. Jones found the right man in the corner. That's a great skip pass, Corey.
It really is. And he fooled the defense basically with making them feel as though he was going to take the runner and then just rifles the pass to the corner. We talked about his playmaking, Jonesy. Mason Jones showing us a great example right here. Fooling the defense, probing into the paint. Not the runner, but the dime to the corner. 3-ball, corner pocket.
thanks a lot for joining us, man.
Thank you, Mark. Good to see you, Court.
Yeah, you too, my man.
You talk about the type of Sacramento culture you want to create. Toughness, togetherness, professional, accountability. And what really landed on me during your introductory news conference, you said, I'm looking for volunteers, not hostages. How's that recruitment and that process and that culture building coming along so far?
It's in a good place right now, guys. And that's important. You know this. You need total buy-in to have a chance to be successful. So we don't want anybody that doesn't want to be there. And it's nothing personal. So what you're seeing out here in Summer League, you're seeing a whole bunch of volunteers right now, and I love watching it. These guys are playing hard. They're playing together. And one thing we told them before the Summer League started was that this is an opportunity, first opportunity, to start establishing our identity, what a Sacramento Kings team is going to look like and play like.
Well, and that identity has to start. I mean, of course, Doug Christie was a great defender as your head coach. We know that identity will start on that side. And you've seen that here with the Summer League team, correct?
Oh, absolutely. We're picking up 94 feet. I love to see that. And look, if we look further ahead, we just watched the finals where you saw two organizations that really extended the floor defensively. And I think that's the way the game is going, and you're going to need a lot of depth. You're going to need athletes who can defend and create offensive opportunities for your team. So I'm excited about it. That's the way I grew up playing basketball. My years in the league, when we were most successful with Detroit Pistons, that's how we played. We played tough, we defended, and we shared the basketball, shared the game. So we want to bring that here to Sacramento.
Scott, one of those guys that's checked a lot of those variable boxes that you mentioned a moment ago, creating opportunities for teammates and for themselves. Nick Clifford has been brilliant here at times early in Summer League, and his versatility seems to be something of a huge asset. I mean, you can plug him a lot of places.
There's no question about it. We've been talking about it back and forth, watching it from the first practice throughout Summer League. This guy's going to be able to give us some time, I think, at all three perimeter positions. And what I really like with him at the guard positions is that he brings big size there. And, you know, the league is going that way. If you can have size at that one or two position, at that point, or that off-guard position, that can really help your ball club. He really passes the ball extremely well with either hand. He can defend all three of those perimeter positions. And the biggest thing that I love about him, he has a really good basketball IQ. And I think he's the type of player that can play with other good players. And I think that's important for a young player coming in the door when you're going to be playing with big-time scorers, guys like Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan and Domantas Sabonis. You got to figure out where you can get in and help the ball club, and Nick is smart enough, I think, to do that. We're really excited to have him.
And, of course, Nick, so versatile. But let's talk about your versatility. All right, so now, you know, you coming off the microphone to go back into the front office.
You didn't stick around long enough for the pension.
But, again, you've been a lifer in the front office. But what did being on ESPN, on that microphone, you know, and showing up and me watching you on SportsCenter, you know, every morning, how did that change your approach as to how you go about being that executive?
It was a great experience working at ESPN. I really felt it gave me an opportunity to step back and really examine the league and understand, too, the real role that this great network plays in shaping narratives that go on. And so it really prepared me to go out and express my vision to the Sacramento Kings fan base, to the community, obviously the ownership group there, and just gave me a lot of confidence in being able to do that. I enjoyed my time there, whether it was on SportsCenter, NBA Today, with Malika and Perk, and all the group there, and so I had a lot of fun with it and enjoyed it, but I respect the heck out of what you guys do, because it's not easy. People think this is easy to get up and talk on live television, and it's not.
Hey, so you're going to tell us that up in Bristol when you're up there, you're going to miss sushi too? No more sushi Tuesdays at the cafeteria?
I tell you what, those were some long days in Bristol. They get you there early in the morning, and no telling when I was going to leave, whether it was midnight, 1 a.m. So
you gotta get out of the car wash, man.
You got to get out the car wash. That's right.
Let's talk about Maxime Renaud a little bit, who was the only collegiate basketball player, Scott, to average 20 points and 10 rebounds. And Corey and I was talking about it a little bit earlier in the previous game. We saw two bigs from the Heat, and the OKC Thunder played a lot of times with two bigs. Is there a possibility at some point that the Kings look like that, or at least some modified version of it?
We'd like to eventually get there. I think it's important to have size on the floor. Right. Obviously, Max is a rookie coming in the door. One of the things that has pleasantly surprised me and us thus far in the summer league is when he's switched on to some smaller offensive players, he's done a fairly good job of trying to keep them in front. And the biggest thing, and you guys can really appreciate that, he does something that a lot of veterans don't do right now. His voice on the floor defensively is unbelievable. And when you have a big on the back line that can quarterback your defense and let everybody know where screens are coming and cutting actions are happening, that is a big-time advantage for your defense. And I think that enhances your ability to be a good defensive team when you have verbal guys out there.
And especially when it's not even his first language. Exactly. You consider that a Stanford grad, he's already going to be intelligent, no question about that.
That's right. That's right. I tell you what, when we interviewed him, I was surprised. I mean, I knew that he was from France, but after we got done interviewing him, I asked him, have you been speaking English all of your life? Because I couldn't even pick up an accent at the time. His English, and he told me when he first got to Stanford 4 years ago, that his English was broken, but that he picked up on it fast. He had roommates that helped him really quick, and to hear him now, like I said, it seems like he's been over in the States all his life.
Yeah. Well, listen, if we ever need a translator up in Sacramento, I took 9 years of French in school, so. So if he's ratting you guys out, I'll let you know.
You know what's funny about that? I told him that I took 4 years of French in high school, so that was a long time ago for me. I still can read a little bit, don't speak it well, so I throw out a word here and there. And so our deal this year is that we're going to say something to each other in French each day so he can help me get better so I can learn how to speak it a little better.
There are a lot of Kings fans in Paris. I communicate with them on social media. Hey, Devin Carter just knocked down a logo three. Let's talk about his development at the point guard position, which is something, admittedly, really something new for him, Scott.
There's no question about it. Obviously, this is my first opportunity to be around Devin. It's coming in. Watched him on film when I was taking the job. He can defend the position. He has good length. He moves his feet. That's his comfort zone right now. He is evolving as a guy, being able to play that position on the offensive end. He had a big game here the other night. We had 30 points where he shot the ball well, which hadn't been his strength to this point. The key for him, just like so many other players, is how's he going to dedicate himself to get better each and every day. And that's been my challenge to him when I talk with him. That's going to be very important. You got to work on your game. You got to get in elite shape so that you can do the things that you're capable of doing on the court right now, and that's defending. He does have good speed with the basketball in the open court, and he's got to start taking advantage of that more on a more consistent basis.
And Scott, when you look on the floor right now, you've got 3 guys who are part of the G League championship team with the Stockton Kings. How is that something that you can kind of incorporate into what the Sacramento Kings are able to do this year?
Well, those guys out there, they have a lot of confidence, those G League guys. They was a big-time thing for them to win that. What we want to do is just, again, establish the identity this year of how we're going to play. That's the most important thing. So when you guys come cover us, you're going to know what to expect. Kind of what you're seeing out here today, that's what we want you to see in the regular season. We're defending, we're playing together, we're sharing the basketball, and we're going to play tough, and we're not backing down from anybody. If we can do those things, because I think that G League team exhibited some of that, we do those things with the Kings, we're going to give ourselves at least a fighting chance every night, and that's the most important thing.
Scott, you've known Doug Christie for a long time, for decades, and how would you characterize some of the conversations you guys have had in the spectrum of alignment and the people that are around him on the bench? You got some great veteran coaches around him.
it's been awesome working with Doug. You know, when I was in Sacramento 8 years ago, Doug was in the media. And we spent a lot of time at that time, and obviously I knew him back when he was a player. But our conversations every day, what's funny now is we start almost repeating after each other because we think a lot alike in terms of how the game should be played. So that makes for a very fun time each and every day when you're working with somebody that sees the game similarly. And with me being the GM and he being the head coach, now when we start going out looking to add pieces, a lot of times we're aligned and thinking along those same ways. So, and the staff that we assembled to help Doug, because Doug this is his first time as a full-time head coach, bringing in Mike Woodson, who's been a head coach, very successful in New York and Atlanta. Mike Miller, who was, when I was in New York as GM there, he was our head G League coach, and he took over as the interim head coach and did a really good job, and a long-time college coach, head coach. And then Bobby Jackson, who was a teammate of Doug's, but has been a successful coach. Actually, he won a lot when he was the head coach of the Stockton Kings. So we've got a head coaching experience over there. We've got former players over there. I like the balance. One of our guiding principles is diversity of thought, but with unity of purpose and direction. And so that staff is going to exemplify that. We're going to share a lot of ideas, but at the end of the day, when Doug makes that decision what we want to do, we're going to all be lined up together, and we're going to support it.
Great to see my brother Bobby Jackson over there also.
Yeah, exactly. Bobby,
Six man out there.
Yeah, exactly.
Scott, we want to thank you for joining us here at the table, and look forward to watching the Kings this year in Sacramento.
Well, look forward to seeing a lot of you too, my man Mark, on the road with us and at home. And again, want to enjoy the ride, and we're really just starting the process of trying to build this thing the right way, because once we are able to get to a playoff level, we want to be able to stay there. We want to try to build a sustainable winner. So you can't do it overnight, but we're going to definitely work hard to make Sacramento Kings Nation very happy.
Be lighting the beam a lot.
It's like the beam. I haven't been able to do that yet, but when the first game happens and we get that win, I'm looking forward to that opportunity.
All right, Scott Perry, general manager of the Sacramento Kings, has a lot of volunteers, very few hostages. And Carter volunteering.
Yes.
Some aerial acrobatics there with the slam.
I don't know, Mark, with this defense, they might be holding some people hostage.
Scott, thanks a lot for coming by.
Thanks so much for having me.
We'll see you soon.
Yeah, we'll see you.
Sacramento Kings with a 11-point lead right now. Mason Jones pulls it out. Clifford puts up the three. Oh, stare down three was pure by Neek.
Now you feeling it when you take that. That's not the average three. We need to see that one in slow motion. You watch how he moves it to the right side of his body, really freezes the defender and lets that one go.
Clifford shot 38% from downtown at Colorado State a season ago. And off the turnover, Carter surveys. Kings have numbers. Carter on the drive. And it partially blocked. Jones on the baseline. Cross court to Clifford. Drives the closeout, spins. Nice pass inside. And we're going to have basket interference on Cardwell.
I'm glad we got a break, because I need to see that three ball again from Nick Clifford. The way he shares it. Look at this. Move it over to the right side. Freezes the defender on that sweep, and then nothing but the bottom of the net. Oh, wait a minute. Does he brush the dirt off his shoulder?
segment with General Manager Scott Perry a moment ago. Already culture building with Sacramento. And it's been very omnipresent at the team's practices.
And the Kings turned all the way up during the time we had them over here. A 15-3 run over the last 4-14. That pretty much spans the amount of time we had Scott Perry on air. It's almost as though his players were listening. But we talked about the teams that come in undefeated. The Sacramento Kings coming in 2-0. They played the same identical 10 players in their first 2 games. No, they don't have Maxime Reynaud available today. But you can tell this is a team that's looking to win this. They're not just here to get experience for their players. They're looking to walk away from here 5-0 with a championship and putting a ring on their finger.
They've been champions before in this NBA Summer League. As recently as, I want to say, 3 or 4 years ago. Get a look at Nick Clifford's perimeter defense against a point guard here in Collins. They take the foul.
A foul to give on that one, so executes it perfectly.
Dipesh Mistry, the Summer League assistant coach, or head coach, pardon me, for Sacramento Kings, asking for that foul. Ellis pulls it out against Jones. Clifford switches on to Boogie, got the block.
I tell you what, his defense looks pretty good against the point guard on that one, especially when you have to sprint up, yelling out switch, and more importantly, being able to change directions that quickly and get a hand on the basketball.
As I said earlier, he chose to wear number 5. The last guy that wore number 5 in Sacramento had a prolific career for the Kings. Told me that he wore number 5 during his pro day workouts too. The Sacramento Kings actually didn't get a chance to work him out, but they had him targeted. Of course, they went through the interview process with him pre-draft and made the necessary machinations to move into the first round and get their young star. In the nick of time as the Spurs win in overtime, courtesy of that turnaround. Jay laces it, and they improve to 3-0 in Summer League play as a result, alongside